Yo, what's good? Welcome to the AD Adrian X Mayat podcast slash broadcast. And today we have a special guest. Today her name is Neicy J. But before we get into the topic of discussion, we're gonna actually play some music and light up some libations. I know she's trying to get her mic together, so just give her a little bit of time. So we'll do that, and then she'll be on here momentarily. Hold on, let me see. All right, so let's play this song, and then we gonna light up some libations for the ancestors.
You must first go through extreme heat, extreme pressure. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? For a diamond to be produced, it has to go through extreme pressure. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. I push through the struggle and level up out of my pain. Cause I got a fire inside me that cannot be tamed. Jump in the vortex of fortune, I don't need the fame. Put that on source, need a legacy off of my name. Talking about pressure, pressure, pressure. Yeah, lately been feeling that pressure, pressure, pressure. I cannot crack under pressure, pressure, pressure. Diamonds get made out of pressure. Diamonds get made out of, diamonds get made out of, diamonds get made out of. Yeah. Shine, 10,000 hours of grind. Even before I was conscious, I was aligned with the highest. I did my work in the dark. Them demons would have had you frightened. Know how I built the ark to master the wave like Poseidon. I run with the biggest of steppers. When it comes to that back, we got leverage. In the spiritual, we be protected. In the physical, teach you a lesson. See that balance to bring you the blessings. Intuition be like my intelligence. Let it sift through the fake and pretenders. Treat the real ones with stones on the stars. No, I want them diamonds on Voss. For everyday shopping at Ross. Autopilot on the whip, riding with the top down like a boss. So many times I could have quit, but I kept it pushing, digging in the dirt. Time to harness all this power till the world is I was shooting for the stars, yeah. I push through the struggle and level up out of my pain. Cause I got a fire inside me that cannot be tamed. Yeah. Jump in the vortex of fortune, I don't need the fame. Put that on source, need a legacy off of my name. Talking about pressure, pressure, pressure. Yeah. Lately been feeling that pressure, pressure, pressure. I cannot crack under pressure, pressure, pressure. Diamonds get made out of pressure. Diamonds get made out of, diamonds get made out of, diamonds get made out of. Yeah. If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond.
So right now, that was called "Diamonds Out of Pressure" by Free Soul. So right now, Niecy J is having a little bit of trouble with her audio. So just give us one moment here, and then she'll be on here momentarily. Here, and then she'll. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on, my friends. I may have to resend her the link so that way she can get in. Oh, I gotta put it on. Hold on, my friends. Hold on. All right, hold on. So we got a few comments here already. Before we get into the topic, we can read those. It says in America, 38% of black pregnancies are aborted, and 82% of black women are overweight. That's what one comment says by Hoyt underscore TWD. Ogun Lad Adinike says hello. Kona or Khona says righteous warriors salute to all original gods and goddesses of the world. Okay. All right, so we got a few people in there now. Okay, I think she about to get on. Yo, what's up, Neicy? How you doing today? See, hold on.
Mic check, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's really low.
I can't hear you.
You just gotta turn your volume up or put some earbuds in if you got earbuds. You can hear y'all can hear me all right, right? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Just hold on just a minute. She's gonna try another browser. So while she's doing that, I'll give her her introduction. I want to make sure. Hey, what's good? Abaya Israel. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, I appreciate that y'all giving me some feedback because right now we are having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we got Oya on our side. She ain't gonna let nothing go wrong. She's so fierce. You know what I'm saying? She gonna bring rain that storm down on people, boy. So we ain't gonna play no games today. So she got our back today. You know what I'm saying? Anything, anything go wrong, she got our back today. She's the most fierce Orisha out there, feminine Orisha out there. So anyway, we're gonna give Niecy her proper production or introduction, excuse me, before we actually get into what we're gonna talk about. Neicy J was born in 1989. I was born in the same year, so we probably around the same age, 33, 34. She was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and currently she's a superintendent of human resources at a hospital. In addition to that, she's been working in the healthcare industry for the past 20 years. She also volunteers for various causes, and she puts in work for over 250 hours annually. In addition to that, she's a single mother of three and has never been married, and she's looking for beautiful souls to share moments with. She also has a travel. She has traveled to 52 countries worldwide. You know what I'm saying? So she's lived in Germany, Italy, Puerto Rico, United Kingdom, and the United States, where she currently resides. She's living in the now, and she's a music lover. She particularly loves EDM, lo-fi beats, and she loves movie thrillers, and she loves self-help books. So that is her introduction. So let me see what's going on with her information here. Hold on. I might have to put in my earbuds, y'all. Hold on.
Mic check, mic check.
All right, you hear me? Can you hear me, Neicy? Or am I low still? We can't hear you. Say something. Hold on real quick. Let me go get my earbuds. Okay, I got my earbuds right here. Hold on, guys. I appreciate y'all patience. We just trying to get this audio together. All right, can y'all hold on. Let me put her mic on. Her mic is off. Hold on. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me hit it again. I'm hitting it, but it does. You have to unmute yourself.
Mic
All right,
check.
you there? Yeah, we can hear you. Can y'all hear her in the chat room? Can y'all hear her? Say something. Somebody say something in the chat room. I heard somebody say they can hear me. But I gave you your introduction. If you wanna definitely expand on what I said about if you want to let people know about anything else about yourself, fun facts, whatever facts you want, feel free to go ahead and talk to the people.
Yeah. So thank you for that introduction. I'm just out here trying to live life. Been in Las Vegas for about 7 years, and I'm more of a extrovert, one would say. Um,
Okay.
Feel free to drop any questions in the chat while we continue.
Exactly right. So before we get into this though, I wanna tell you this little tale. I wanna tell you this story, and then I wanna ask you a question. So there is once this king, right? This king, he lived in a palace. He had everything that a man could ask for. But one day he just felt like he was unfulfilled, right? So he had a jester hire three different painters, and he wanted to pick the best artists out of all those three. So he had his jester go out to his first artist. The first artist came in. He brought him a painting of himself, The king was very impressed with the first painter of the of the self portrait. So he really loved it. And then the second artist that came inside the kingdom, he came in as well. His piece was a little bit more detailed, so he painted a lot of scenic spots. He painted a volcano in the background erupting. He had a ocean or a river flowing in this painting, and he also had he had different types of nature scenic spots in his paintings, so it's really detailed. And he also had a bird in a tree feeding the young, uh while there was different types of nature and stuff going on. So he had the bird feeding his young and stuff like that. And then the third artist came in with his painting, right? He came in with the painting and he painted a palace. He had a portrait of the palace itself. So the king, he went through all these different measures of going through these different artists, and he couldn't decide on which one he wanted to choose. At the end of the day, he did make a decision. Which painter do you think he actually chose to actually have or keep around to hang his artwork in his palace?
Oh, no, I would consider the one he really liked at first. Um, that's where I would.
Yeah, you would say the first one. What
Yes.
y'all say in the chat room? If somebody's in the chat room, which one do you say he chose? Did he choose the first painting of himself? Did he choose the scenic painting? Or did he choose the palace painting? Okay. So you're actually wrong on this. And I'm gonna tell you why he didn't choose, because it would make sense. I understand why you chose that answer, right? Because I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, you got a self portrait. Who wouldn't want to have a picture of themselves, right, hanging up in their palace to complete their palace, right? But he chose the second one. And the reason why he chose the second one is because when he looked at the picture, not only was it really detailed, he noticed that the bird, through the thunder and lightning, the volcano, and the swavering sea that was detailed in the painting, that the mother bird was so calm in the midst of all of what was going on around it. So he liked the idea that in the midst of chaos, sometimes you have to just choose peace within yourself. No matter what's going on, you always stay focused on what you're doing and don't let worldly or outside things rattle you in the face of adversity. So that was why he chose the second one. And he didn't chose the palace because I mean he has the palace, so he's not gonna choose the palace because he's already living in the palace. That wasn't really impressive. But yeah, I just thought I would share that story before we just to break the ice before we actually get into what we were gonna talk about.
Nice.
All right, for sure. All right, so yes. So the first question that I wanted to ask you is what led you to choose the career path that you've chosen?
Well, I grew up. My family has owned a funeral home since 1891. We're the one of the first Black historic families to own businesses in my hometown. Um, so I was always involved in the realm of death. So I always wanted to go into healthcare, um,
Mm.
to help save lives versus seeing it at the end. So that's always been kind of my mindset on choosing healthcare.
Wow, that's very interesting. So yeah, that's very interesting that you chose like the opposite. You saw a lot of death, assuming since your people had were in that field of business, you just decided to be somewhere that was kind of similar, but more so just want to bring somebody back to their normal self, like saving lives.
Of
So
course.
it's kind of like a paradox a little bit.
Yep, I am very paradox being a Libra.
That's what's up. Okay. And I know I asked you the question, but I also like to answer or ask the or answer, excuse me, the same question that I asked you. That's how I do it on the show. So the reason why I chose the career path of being a brand ambassador and a content creator is because it really ignites my passion for living. I love teaching, learning, interacting, and building with people. I taught in early education for about 3 years in Las Vegas. I taught English as a second language abroad in China at the China University of Mining and Technology. I also taught at a middle school while I was in China for a year. And I've been doing podcasting and vlogging for a couple of years now. So it allows me to be my most authentic self. And I'm still learning because a true master is always in learning mode. And I was fortunate enough to interview Dr. Umar Johnson, Yurima Karama, and a black martial artist named Cool Breeze, as well as other noteworthy people around Las Vegas. So that's why I chose the path I'm on today, and I'm still, on that path. So having said that, all right, now I want to ask you a more of a deeper question. Do you think westernized women prefer their careers over marriages? If so, why? If not, why?
I don't necessarily think that westernized women choose their education and careers over being married. I think that we're just because culturally we do raise westernized females to depend on their husband, because when daddies raise girls, they want to take care of the family. They tell them, the husbands, that hey, you need to take care of my baby girl. So no, I don't necessarily think that women choose that. However, the way society is set up, we can't live off of one income anymore. So women are kind of pushed into taking on more of that working mode traditions that male do. And then if you peel it back even farther, American blacks were always pinned to that standard of women are here, we strip your male from you. And women have always stood alone most of the time on that struggle of having to work, take caring the slave owner kids, whatever job that was. It was never her career. It was always trying to survive. So that's kind of my outlook on black westernized females. Um, as a whole, like I said, I think we culturally raise girls to be taken care of by men. However, a lot of, don't get me wrong when I say this, but men have ego, and like egos protect us, right? No matter what. However, I've my personally been in situations where men don't particularly like me having more money than them, and they want to make more money than me because they are protectors and they want to take care of women. So I have plenty of girlfriends that would rather be home taking care of the kids, or doing those more nurturing things, because that's how we were built. So I don't necessarily think that westernized women rather choose a career. We're forced into it.
Okay. Well, I agree with you on a lot of what you on some of the stuff you said. Like as far as like it does nowadays, it kind of does take if you take more of a realistic approach that when it comes to relationships that it's supposed to it takes more than one income, you know what I'm saying? And then the top 20% of guys, they have their own money, but the other 80% of guys are not able to provide. And that was because of feminism, which I'm not going to jump ahead of that right now. But I will say this: when women choose their careers over their marriages, it tremendously hurts the idea of family, in my humble view, because women constantly combat biology and nature in order to fulfill their own selfish needs and they lack knowledge of self, in my humble view, because a lot of women, they go off of, well, I can do better because the system can teach me, or I can live from the system. That become the system itself becomes the hubby or the boyfriend for the woman, because it's more profitable for the man not to be in the house. So I think I'm kind of going into feminism, but I'm trying not to get into it. I agree with you. I agree with you when you say that would say that. So I would just say this: why wouldn't a woman in her righteous mind and intent want to rest in her femininity? You know what I'm saying? You hear women often say that they are the table, and when the question is being asked, what do you bring to the when you ask the question, what do you bring to the table? So in addition, women believe that the better the career that she has, the more attractive she will be in the dating market. And I would say no to that, because a lot of men that I talk to or that I have discussions with would say the same thing. It's a common misnomer. Men would take a chick that works as a janitor versus a woman that is working as a CEO, a boss chick, or a lawyer. Because why would they do that? Why would they rather take those chicks instead? Because men prefer women that are more submissive and feminine. And when a lawyer and a CEO and a boss chick, it's gonna with those type of occupation, it takes women to be more masculine, and traditionally those career paths are meant for men. So in essence, she's stepping outside of herself to do a career. Hence, more than likely, she will bring masculinity home with her, because she's not trained to be feminine. And also, she's been indoctrinated heavily by the education system and feminism to be masculine. So that will be my response to that question. But were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think like that. Number one, I didn't grow up in any system. As far as getting anything, like I'm a single mother with 3 kids. I've owned 2 houses, just sold one. And yes, I I do live a lot in my masculinity. Sorry,
It's all good.
masculinity. Um, because I have to. Because I have to. Let's
Hold
get
on. You
that
said,
straight.
wait. You said you have to. Is it because you have to or you choose to?
It's
Because women can tap, hold on, because women can tap into their femininity. I hear women say that all the time, that, oh, I have to be masculine. You can choose femininity.
you
I
can
mean, you have to
absolutely.
be, you have to listen, you have to first the inner, then the outer. So it's a top now. Innately, human beings have both masculine and feminine energies. Men
Exactly.
typically, if they're more tuned with themselves, they're gonna lean towards the masculine side and will exhibit the feminine traits when it's necessary. And the same applies to women when it's the other way around. You get what I'm saying?
I
So but go ahead. I want you to continue too. But I don't agree with you saying that you have to be masculine.
no, no,
You
no.
you choose that.
No, no, no. Like you said, these jobs are built for men,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
that's a conversation we can get into when we talk about feminism.
All right.
However, in order for me to survive, I have to think like a man in this man working world. And when I'm out there working these long hours and my kids don't have hit, sometimes I'm at work, 9, 10 hours, and I can't pick up my kids from school. I always make sure they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, of course. But that's me coming home and I'm tired after day of work. I do my best as I can to nurture my children and live in that femininity. But because I'm a natural nurturer at the same time, but I have to work. I have to take care of my kids at the end of the day. So I look at it like the yin and the yang symbol.
I agree. Okay, that I can give you that. What I want to say this, I want to throw this out there. Let's walk down this path with you holding hands and being cool and friendly alongside the riverside. Uh, so I see. This is what I see. Let's put the scenario of a woman making 80K and a man making 40K. Well, if that's the scenario for them, for that particular group, that family, that
Mhm.
example, that woman typically is going to always say, oh, he's too broke, or oh, he's not man enough because he's not making a certain amount of money. But then if it's the other way around, if the man is making 80K and she's making 40K, oh, that's my honey, that's my baby. I can deal with him because he makes more. So women are naturally hypergamous, if I'm saying that correctly. You
Mhm.
meaning that like men that have a better social status, financial status, and all that. So I can say that that's what we're pushing. As far as, we're not pushing like, oh, we need to work together. If I'm making less than you, or if I'm making the same as you, then I'm on the back burner of being on your on who you like or who you want to be with, because I'm not I'm too busy on your level, or I'm below you. You get what I'm saying? So my point with that is that that's what we shouldn't be doing. That if you say, like you said earlier, that we need two incomes, why should it matter what a man makes? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, number one, that's a immature woman. You with someone and you comparing the how much we make. You're gonna be looking at how much you make as a whole. That means she's gonna be looking for the next guy who out there who can make more than him. So do she really love him? No. So that's kind of null and void in my opinion. Um, like I said, we need two incomes to survive in this society, to have prosperous families, to have the proper education, to have them doing the activities that they want to do. Now, in my experience, because I am more of a, I guess someone would call me more of a masculine female because of the roles that I have to take. I've dated guys who have tried to tell me, hey, how about you just stay home? You don't have to work. And then 10 minutes later, they're cheating. And then what would I have if I stopped everything that I'm doing to be barefooted and having children? No, I need my self identity as well. I need to have my own hobbies, my own money at the same time. Now,
Well, did they ever offer to have you work for them, or or you can work at home and you can do Pilates at home. You can do yoga at home.
Those
Have you
things do
thought
not
about that?
those things do not interest me. I think men forget that women need to have their own goals. They need to have to feel accomplished in life as well. Not some women you're gonna find that just feel accomplished with having kids and taking care of them. Other women have more for zest in life. Um, Men are more nomadic. They like to travel, move on, looking for the next thing. Women are more stationary, and sometimes I
Not in
see.
this day and age. Not in this day and age. Hell no. Hell no. You can't say that. Hell no. I'm not gonna let you do
No,
it. I'm not gonna let you do it.
I don't know. The demographic of women that I hang around are not the ones that you have been hanging around. So I cannot speak
it,
from your perception.
listen, listen. It ain't necessarily that I've been hanging around these types, or in some, for instance, I can say I have, but I'm just going by the new age social media digital diary of TikTok, Facebook. Women will tell you that they're not that old 40s, 50s, 60s style woman that will stay at home. They like to do the same thing that we do. Now it's almost like the roles have been reversed. You get what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I want to, if you got more to say on this, go ahead. If not, I'll just go on to the next question because I don't want it to steer off the tracks too much.
Right, right, right. No, I think that's just a generational thing. I don't think it's necessarily a male female thing. When I even look at my children, more of them are talking about binary um type of deals. So it's becoming more of a liberal culture. I see as the generations progress. But you'll see baby boomers saying that millennials are the same thing. So I think as we get older, our views change, and they're just going to have a more open, liberal type of, almost like I want to say
I,
something like just
I ain't
more
liberal.
open.
That's I can't get in. I'm not a liberal. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a liberal. I'm old school mixed with new school. I'm a millennial. I got one foot in the old
Right.
school era, and I got one foot in the new school area. I'm gonna let
Exactly.
you know. So this guy says that no nomadic thing isn't true. So he kind of disagreed with you there, and then he said both men and women prefer to explore. That's human nature. I mean, explore what men like to venture off, like meaning like what she was saying earlier, like traveling to different places. Like women like to explore stuff, not like travel, but they like to explore different hobbies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like painting, doing art, and you know what I'm saying? That's more what those are more the feminine roles, in my humble opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like art and shit
I
like that, like gardening, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I mean, it can be a man's role. You can have a former as a guy, but I'm just talking about if you think about the arts, that's more of a feminine aspect because it's expressive. Femininity is expressive. That's what I mean when I say feminine. I don't necessarily mean, oh, that's just a woman's thing. I mean, the aspect of it is feminine. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean, but I think
Yeah.
he's forgetting the content that we were talking about. Older generation women versus now. Men have always been more nomadic, like for hunting, to go find a family food. Women will always stay back home and take care of everything. That's what I mean by men are more nomadic. They go and travel. I've been to 52 countries. Like when I go to Africa, the men won't come back for months and months on end, and they have their wives there. They don't normally go anywhere. They're normally there taking care of the community and the children.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
So
Right.
that's
That's
what I
exactly
mean
correct.
by nomadic, in a sense. Now, we talk about westernized. Everybody loves to travel, but women travel for enjoyment. Men travel for exploration and curiosity. Women like to go with men and go have a good time in Miami or something, you know. So it's just a little different, I think.
Yeah, she like to get flued out. Yeah, that's what she want to be flued. She want. Okay, so he said unless it was said before I arrived, I missed it. Okay. And then he said, I didn't forget the content of generation difference. I sent my message and then y'all made that comment. Ha ha ha. Okay. That's my boy De'Arion. Me and him went to school together back in the day. What's good?
Hey,
What's good? I'm glad you on here supporting your brother. I appreciate it. He's abroad as we speak. Okay, so having said that, let's move forward with this third question. All right. So, why do you think divorce rates are so high in America, and is it worth it to get married?
why do I think divorce rates are so high? But, I think that in a world of technology, people have more options for things, to see what they do and don't want. We're so quick to dismiss each other these days, whether that's men or women. I think that's what causes a divorce rate. Just more options to find something else when something else isn't making them happy. We're in a generation of instant gratification. And when someone's not getting that instant gratification, they're like, oh, I'm done. I got options, you know? So I think that's why
Now,
in America.
I don't want to ask you if you don't mind me asking you these two questions. I know they wasn't the questions that I sent you, but I do want to ask some follow up questions. Are
Mhm.
your kids dad in their life? And then why didn't y'all get married? And if so, is it one dad, two dad? How many like dads and stuff? I just wanted
Oh
to
yeah,
know.
I'm totally open with that. So my older two kids, I had with my high school sweetheart. We had been together since I was about 15 years old. Had my first kid when I was 20 by him, so pretty young. By the time I was 4 months pregnant with my daughter, he kind of went into the wrong path. Not kind of, he did. He was taking ecstasy. He was just not going down the path that I was hoping he would go. It was starting to get dangerous. He's going to jail. He's invited the wrong people around.
So he
And
wasn't doing that initially.
no, not at all. My high school sweetheart, that's that puppy love. You don't know what you don't know. And he had a very well-to-do family. We went to private school. Um, and in face front, you know how you maturity levels kind of cap out sometimes. So his maturity level to me kind of capped it out at about the age of 18. And just and I feel like him not being able to explore life and us just going with each other right away from the age of 15 till then, maybe he just needed to get out there a little bit more. However, it
That
is
ain't
what it is.
necessarily true. Cause it was some people back in the day that was high school sweethearts like LL Cool J, Ice Cube. They still with their high school sweethearts. They ain't have to, do this and do all that. You can't make excuses for it. It's just put it like this. It was just an experience where y'all just decided that y'all, I guess, it wasn't a good fit for you, both of y'all, and y'all decided to go y'all different way. But it ain't necessarily
Well, I
mean
wasn't
that
finished
he
the
wasn't.
story.
Go
I
go. All
wasn't
right.
finished.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. Go
Um,
ahead.
So when he started doing the drugs, he started being highly abusive. I ended up in the hospital in a coma, and he killed someone else. So that was a very dangerous
Oh
relationship.
shit.
So I have to end that relationship, right? As a nurturing woman, I don't need my children around that. So yeah, he wanted to stay. However, he was very dangerous for that situation. So no.
So so was there anything okay, because they always say that there's the truth, it's two sides of the story, and then there's the truth. So
Mhm.
can you also look at it too for yourself and see, was there anything that you say that you was doing wrong as well, or do you feel like it wasn't? I don't know. Do you feel like you made some mistakes? That's what I'm trying to ask you. Did you feel like you ever made some mistakes being in a relationship with the guy you was with?
Oh, absolutely not. Not with my high school sweetheart. I loved him through even the beating that he gave me once. So it was unconditional love, I would call it. But once a woman do have children, I feel like children become that priority. And once
Hmm.
you risk the safety of my children, yeah, I will cut you off.
Yeah, I went through. I can't say that. I seen it growing up. I seen it with my mom and my dad as a very young child growing up of that type of relationship. But I also know too, my mom wasn't completely innocent in the situation because I talked to my dad and I talked to my mom, and there were some things that she did with, I'm not gonna, put nobody's business out on Front Street,
Yeah.
that she was definitely wrong about. And then it was definitely some shit that my dad did that, made him be who he was. So I always ask this just to see if we can all be accountable, because it's easy to be like, this motherfucker did this to me, and I'm not trying to be insensitive to your situation, because
Yeah,
some no
absolutely.
nobody should be getting beat up. I don't care who it is. Nobody should be getting their ass kicked. It don't matter if it's on the man's side or the woman's side. And I do empathize with what you went through. I just want to ask these hard hitting questions just to see, if there's any other factors beside from,
No.
other stuff. So,
Well, I can tell you about the incident. Like, all you have to do is touch me one time, and we're done. But so, have my baby. I'm pregnant. We are young. We are 20. I'm the only one working. I got him a beautiful job over at Fox Entertainment. He loved to rap. I got him a job doing jingles with Fox. He got into an argument and a fight with someone at work, lost his job. He then wanted to get his drugs, and I'm supporting the entire house. I have $40 left in my wallet to get my kid formula, and he takes that money and he go buys ecstasy. I look into my purse. I ask him, "Hey, where's the money?" He said, "Don't worry about the F I'm doing, da 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 da." And then I'm like, yo, my son needs food. Like, mama is coming out, right? Because my child needs food right now. You just took my last
mhm,
$40. So we get into
right.
this argument. He hits me. I'm hitting back because you just took food from my baby. I'm sorry. You touched me first. And of course, I'm not stronger than him, but I felt some type of way, right? We were in that. He was very verbally abusive, but that was the first time he ever hit me. And it got really ugly. So yeah, that's what happened. I'm a one time, one incident type person. You put my family at risk, you took my money, you gotta go. You have to go.
And let me ask this. Let me ask you this before we get back into the other questions. What race was he?
He's black.
Oh, He was a black dude doing this?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And then, so you just have all your kids have the same father, or they have two, or is it two, or is it three?
I have 3 kids, and so I left him. My first kid, the older two. I left him when I was about 21,
Hmm.
and then when I was about 26, I met my youngest kid dad, and we were just he didn't know what he wanted in life. And I do say my biggest mistake is kind of being naive. I kind of give you 100% of my trust and respect, and then you can deviate from it. I feel like if I would like just be so untrusting sometimes from the get-go, maybe I would have saved myself some heartache. But yeah, but he takes care of his son. I have no complaints. um, he's a good dad. We just met each other at the wrong time.
Hold on. So you just met him at the wrong time. I'm not understanding what you mean by that.
He just didn't know what he wanted. I am very much, I know what I want. Um, his comments to me was when I was about 8 months pregnant. I'm like, hey, I still haven't met your parents. Like, why haven't I met anyone? And he would just make all these excuses. And so finally he ended up telling me that, his mother, he was actually Mexican and El Salvadorian. Um he said that his mother and father didn't like black women. So I was like, well, still they're gonna have a grandson who's, gonna be multicultural. And then at the same time, yeah, I'm not all the way black myself. My dad's from Puerto Rico and my mom's from Nigeria. Um,
So you
that
wait, you don't consider. So wait, you don't consider Puerto Rican and Nigerian to be black?
I think it's a mixed culture. Yeah. My family, even though my father is from Puerto Rico, my grandmother is Iranian and my grandfather is Portuguese and Filipino.
So you
But
classify yourself as mixed.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Because me personally, when I saw you, I saw a black woman. You know what I'm saying? I feel what you saying.
Right.
Nigerian and Puerto Rican have, like, when
Totally
you
different
look deeper
cultures.
in the or yeah, when you look in deep in their early origins, you'll see that all the early Puerto Ricans and Africans were, well, African itself is black, so we already know that. But Puerto Ricans are black, but we do have the Eurocentric Puerto Ricans too. So,
Right.
and then
So,
if you look at the grandmothers of Hispanic or Latino origins, usually the abuela and they abuelo are, black people. So, but yeah, I didn't know. Dang, I'm glad that you cleared that up because I didn't want to classify you as something that you would be like, why is he calling me black? Okay, because I thought you was black.
right. But that's the part that's another conversation. I was born in America. Other countries don't go around saying this, that. They're the whatever country they come from. So it is what it is. You never know what someone is in America, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and back in earlier times, you are correct. More people identified by the region that they were in versus the race. The idea of race came when the Europeans wanted to conquer other races of people to
Right.
say that they were more superior than those other races. So I'm very well aware of that. Yeah, okay, yeah. I just that's very interesting. So okay, you're mixed. So having said that,
So
uh, so
going back.
yeah,
So
yeah, go back
yeah,
to the story.
going back to the story. He tells his mother, I'm there, and his mother didn't realize that I was part Latin too and can speak Spanish, she called me a late racial slur in Spanish and all these other things. So I was like, oh, I see why he, was kind of scared to bring me around his family or whatnot. And his ex-wife was white. Um, and they preferred the white ex-wife. So we kind of parted ways because he was also stuck in that, like, how can I have, he had another child. He had a child with his ex-wife, and he was like, how can I have one black kid and one white kid? And after that comment, we definitely, I was like, hey, you need to figure out what you want in life, because at this moment we probably won't work out.
Yeah, I'm still here. My bad. I just closed my door. Uh, yeah, that's kind of sad. Terrence said, "What it do? What it do, fool? What's up, man?" Okay, so having said that, that is very. So when y'all first met, I know I'm going back to your stuff, but one more question. When you didn't sense no underlining tones of racism or nothing like that? You don't think he looked at you as like a fetish, or you know what I'm saying? You
No,
didn't sense that? You didn't sense any of that?
no, not at all. He actually really, really like black women. I wouldn't say black males. At the end of it, I would see how black males intimidated him. However, he went on to marry another girl who he's been married to for the last 10 years. She's black, and it's a beautiful couple. So it was just, he was young and dumb, and he just didn't know. I feel like people can change.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that shows your perspective, and I respect that. Lee says, "Hey." Terrence says, "Looking dapper." Oh, thank you, bro. I definitely appreciate it. I wish we could have Niecy on, but she's off camera for classification purposes, so we gotta keep her off the camera. But maybe next time, or nah, I'm just talking stuff. But anyway, all right. So let me go back to the questions on deck that we have here. I want to answer the question, or do you want to continue on with that answer? Why do you think divorce rates are so high in America, and is it worth it to get married? So, did you answer that part? You didn't answer that last
I
part. Is it worth it?
Right. Absolutely. I think love is beautiful. Now, when you look at it as a legal thing, right? Marriage is a legal thing. Um, I don't per se like how it is legally. But when you talk about courtship and love and union, I think it's very beautiful. So, yeah, I think getting married is worth it. You just have to get married with the person that you can deal with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, yeah, you do. And it's like it's tough to find people in this era of dating because people treat social media more important uh, than their actual relationship. And I want to add on to what you're saying regarding the divorce rates. I think divorce rates are so high because women have been indoctrinated with feminism, which includes thought culture through mass media, music, movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. So Cardi B, oh, that's my sis. Hey, what's up, sis? Yeah, she said, hey, brother. Okay, so they getting indoctrinated with sexy red and I don't need a nigga, get a bug about a nigga, shake my ass, settling it up, weaving it up, doing all that type of stuff. And then I think secondly, being alone is more profitable to women because long as the man is not in the home, they can receive benefits from the government. And then therefore, like I said earlier, the government becomes the modern woman's boyfriend or hubby. And then on top of that, if they don't want to do that, if they don't want to be rely on the system, say if they're not doing that, going back to the culture, they think OnlyFans and stuff like that is going to put them on a map to getting a lot of money and stuff like that. And then they claim they're independent, but you're using a website that a man designed for you to get on there to shake your tushy for. So you're not being independent by doing that. But anyway,
I hear
going to the
ya. I gotta say something about that.
hold on. Let me finish though. Hold on. I'm gonna let you just write it down. Take a mental note. So listen, and then number three, the reason why divorce rates are so high is because they were sold a Cinderella story too. Because women have a certain idea of what it's supposed to be like in a relationship. She expects the man to be 7 feet tall, to have about a 20-inch phallus, drive a Rolls Royce, be an 18th century Victorian style gentleman, also be a Superman, and then also be a thug on the side, sprinkle that, find all the 7 Dragon Balls so she can be granted to make a wish. If y'all know what my reference to Dragon Ball Z, y'all know what I'm talking about, to all the nerds out there. And then on top of that, he has to make about 10 figures. So if you put all that together in a pot of gumbo right there, it makes modern women have these unrealistic expectations of men. And what they fail to realize is that men don't reach their financial peak between the ages of 35 and 55. And on top of that, just because a man say if the man is in the top 20%, right? The man can have all that, everything put together. But just because a man has everything put together doesn't mean he's going to treat you with respect and decency, because materialism and superficiality doesn't make up for a lackluster of character. You get what I'm saying? So let me read something from this book by Grace Cornish. And she wrote this book called 10 Bad Choices That Ruin Black Women's Lives. And this is what she said, okay? She said, in the average Black household, right, it takes a double income to enjoy a really fine standard of living. This is a wake-up call to the sisters, okay, who are letting each day of their lives slip away, waiting to entrap a man who will pay their bills. An example she uses is that 37-year-old Roxanne, a production assistant, has been celibate since her 30th birthday, right? Mm-hmm. She says she is saving herself for a future rich Black husband. For the past 7 years, she's been complaining that she's tired of working, saying, I want a rich Black man to marry me and to take care of me. So all I have to do is stay home and breastfeed some babies. So guess what? That makes her entitled. But going on to the next thing. A few years ago, the prerequisites for her ideal husband were rich, light-skinned, Black, handsome, tall, well-educated, well-spoken, and nice. And as the years flew by and no suitor applied, the list read rich, light or brown skin, Black, tall, handsome, and nice. The following year, it read rich, brown or dark skin, Black, and nice. The next, rich and Black. And then this is when desperate times call for desperate measures. Watch this. After Roxanne's 37th birthday, her list was further narrowed to rich. After some deep liberation, she shared, I just want a rich husband. And right now, I don't care what he looks like. If he's ugly, I don't have to have a big wedding. We can go to the justice of the peace, so none of my friends will see him and laugh at me if he looks funny. And then this is what she said. When she shared this, I replied, if you have to hire someone you hope to marry, what kind of life do you think you'll have? Our dialogue continued like this. This is Dr. Cornish speaking. Instead of wasting your years away desperately waiting for any guy who happens to have money to come along and help you to get a life, why don't you get it back into the stream of life and start dating again? But look for a kind and dependable, honest working man, and you can work on building a good life together. Roxanne says, no way. If I can buy a leather coat on my own, why should I settle for a man who can buy me just another leather coat instead of one who can buy me a full length mink? Dr. Cornish West says, Roxanne, having someone who cares enough about you to buy you a leather coat is better than being out in the cold alone with no one to share warmth with. You have spent 7 years searching for the mink coat man, and he has not turned up yet. Why not give a leather guy a try and build from there? Roxanne says, who needs to struggle? I don't want any man who I have to creep through life with. I don't want one who has already done well. I want one who has already done well for himself. And then last but not least, this is what Dr. Cornish says. You should choose a man who is able to hold his own, but what you are looking for is not a compatible companion, but a caretaker. Any caretaker, so long as he can pay your bills. What about character? From reviewing your list, you seem to have thrown it out the window. What about your self-worth? You have actually wasted 7 years of your precious life holding out for the man with the highest dollar, even if it happens to be the lowest self-worth. So this is modern woman in a nutshell. So people like Sister Saraza Ali, Dr. Grace Cornish, Grace Cornish, who's right here, if I can get it into the camera correctly. This beautiful black woman right there, Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, all these women, Iyanla Van Zant, all these women try to push modern women to not do these. I call it the Ebony K effect, because the Ebony K effect says, oh, it's not worth it to get married. So I'm gonna answer this last part and then I'm gonna let you finish. So it's not okay for modern women, from their perspective, majority of their perspective, not to get married. So you're the rare one out of the bunch that actually says, no, I think it's worth it. I still believe you still have hope for marriage. But I'm telling you, from a typical modern woman perspective, they don't believe in having a marriage because they rather be side chicks too. And that's another thing. They think that being a side chick, in their mind, they think stealing someone else's man is a challenge and it's a badge of honor. Because if you listen to the lyrics of these songs, that's what they talk about. I'll fuck your man. I'll suck his dick. He'll be eating my ass. Excuse my French. But that's what they say. So they rather share that 20%, that 20% high value God. They'll share him with the wife versus trying to get with a man that's in the 80 percentile that makes the same as her or makes a little bit less than her. Okay, so that's what they rather do. They don't want to go with the guy that has good character or has strong potential in his field, or work, or study. They don't want to do that. Okay, they rather be classy, or not classy, excuse me, and be tacky to try to steal somebody else's woman, or try to be the concubine of a man versus actually just being his wife. You get what I'm saying? And then another thing I want to say, let me see. There was something else I wanted to say. Yeah, so going back to that, I think going back to marriage from a man's perspective, I think it's not worthy for a man to get married. And if he does get married, he should not allow the state interference to dictate his marriage. I think the man and the woman should marry on their own merit and on their own contract. If they can't come up with their own contract and she has to accept the state involvement, I say, man, don't get married, because the Eurocentric system is not in the man's benefit. It's going to always benefit the woman in the long run. So it's not worth it to a man to get married only for him to pay alimony at the end, child support, because women divorce at a 70 to 80% rate. You get what I'm saying? I'm not including the women that actually divorcing for a legitimate reason. If the man is whooping your ass, divorce his ass. If he willingly told you that he wasn't gonna sleep with nobody else and he was gonna be with you, and he deliberately went out and slept with somebody else, divorce his ass. But if a man is upfront and honest with you, he says he likes multiple women, he may have a side chick here and there, and he cheat on you, and then now all of a sudden you hurt. If he told you at the beginning, no, you don't deserve to divorce his ass. You need to stay with him because he told you that he was going to be with other women, and you got to be okay with that. So whatever y'all agree to in y'all contract, y'all need to respect that, and then the marriage will work. If you can't respect the contract that y'all make up or that he makes up for the program that he has made, then there shouldn't be marriage, because the state marriages does not work for no man. It don't matter if he's black, white, Asian, or none of that. Okay. And on top of that, let me see. Yeah, on top of that, yeah, that's it. That's it. I want to land my plane there, but I just want to say that it's not worth it, because those are the reasons. Unless a man marries a traditional woman or a woman that is not warped by feminism, then that marriage would actually work. I would say that. I'll put it like that. But go ahead. I know you had something to say, but I had to get that all out so you can, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the right person for this type of interview. That's not how me nor my friend circle are. Um, as far as like women living off the government, I don't have friends that done such. I grew up in a family that had business. Um, so those things that you talk about, that's not the life that I live. That's not the circle of people that I've been around. So that stuff sounds really childish to me. Especially when you start talking about songs and culture. That's pop culture. That's young kids doing whatever young kids do that's thinking it's cool. It's pop culture. That's all it is.
Nah,
They
that's
know how to
actually
make
grown
money.
women, 20, 30s, and 40s. That's
Well,
women
I
in their
wasn't
20s,
finished.
30s, and 40s. Go
I
ahead. But
wasn't
it's
finished.
true. Go
Now,
ahead.
some people can be easily influenced by these things in pop culture. But at the end of the day, and this is me defending women, I guess. um,
Mm-hmm.
Women have this thing where they need to feel sexually attractive. That goes down to animals. It just goes down to a male female thing. Women need to feel sexy. And since people like pop culture, they're imaging those things, trying to mimic them to be that sometimes. I say that's when they're young, and if they continue to do it, I think that's because they have no class. And the men like to go after easy things sometimes. I cannot tell you how many times I've been told, "Oh, you're the real deal. I was looking for something casual. I just want to have fun." So it's a double-edged sword on each side of that. Sometimes men just want to have fun, get that hookup, get that sex with that girl, whatever the case may be. But then when they meet somebody real, it's like, oh, let me think about that. So I I yeah, you can blame pop culture, but this is a circle, because what do men teach? What do dads teach our girls? Or some people are going to say, well, dad's one in the family or whatever. Well, we teach them that they need to have somebody who's going to take care of them, who has money, who's going to give them everything they want. That's something we created as a culture, and then we backfire it and say, well, why women act like this? So that's some wild stuff to me. It's like it's pointing the fingers.
Well, I want to say this because dads is not teaching their daughters how to be thoughts. That's not dads don't have nothing to do with that.
And mothers
That's
don't do that
that's
either.
we see that online. Mothers are twerking on babies. I saw plenty of black women twerking on babies. I'm not playing. You can go on TikTok right now and see mothers twerking on babies. I'm not playing. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this story. Watch this. I was at a black community event, right?
Yeah.
I was at a black community event. This girl, she had her son, right? I seen this with my own eyes. So this is not me just make. She was around my age too. She forced her son. She gave him the phone and she told him to film me twerking.
But
She
has
told
no
her, "Oh,
class.
hold on, let me finish though. Let me finish." And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because he was reluctant to do that. Now think about the psychological trauma that boy has to go through. That he's embarrassed. First of all, we're in the community event and you're asking him to hold the phone while you twerk. And then secondly, now let's put it like this. What if I had a daughter in the same setting and I told her, hold my phone, and I tell her, hold the phone while I shake my dick. Now they will look at me like I'm a pedophile. They'll look at me like something's wrong with me. They'll look at me like I ain't got no class. But nobody says anything when women do this stuff. They have sex with the kids in the schools. We got teachers, whether it be white women or black women, they're having sex with kids at the schools. So we can't say that daddy had an influence on that. No, that's women buying into pop culture and saying I'm gonna follow that, and they're mostly sexually liberated in this day and age with the feminism ideology has a grapple hold on their mind and they're more sexually liberated. So now they say I can do whatever I want. These teachers in the classroom, they play Cardi B and shit in front of their kids in the classroom and put it on TikTok. They do all that. So it's across all professions. It's not just looking at the ones that's a hood rat or that comes from the ghetto. I'm talking about the professional women too. The professional women be doing this stuff too. Nurses be twerking and stuff like that on TikTok. Them police officers. So it's across the board. We're not just talking about one demographic. We're not just saying, oh, I'm pointing at this demographic. We're talking about from the ages of 20 on up to like 45 years old. I ain't trying to, and I'm not saying all, but I'm saying it's a great majority of westernized thinking women that think that they can just do whatever they want to do without no consequences. That's what I'm trying to say. So is it worth a man to invest himself into women like that?
No, absolutely
Because he can't separate the good girls from the harlots, because the good girls and the harlots are hanging out together in one bunch. How you hanging out with the harlots if you're supposed to be a good girl? In my eyes, you supposed to be an exemplary woman is like Coretta Scott King, dress conservative. Now these women, they want to dress like an escort, but then they want men to respect them. If I dress like a police officer, I'm gonna be treated like a damn police officer. If I dress like a nurse, I'm gonna be treated like a nurse. If I dress like an escort, I'm gonna be treated like an escort. You dress according to how a person, how you want to be treated. I'm dressed professional. You get what I'm saying? So you dress in a way that you want to be respected. So you can't say don't look at me or don't like or don't be in my DMs when you dress a certain way. You can't cry for validation and then when you get validation, you don't want it. It's a major paradox. You get what I'm saying? I want validation, but I don't want validation. That causes a ball of confusion. So it's a lot to put into details and put into proper perspective on why a man should have to deal with that and why he should marry a woman. He should just marry a conservative woman, whether she be in the states or out of the country. Most conservative women though live out of the country though. But go ahead. I want you to finish what you would have to say.
I kind of agree with you on the Cinderella piece. As I said, this is the things that we are teaching our kids. That's the things that we were taught growing up. Um, it just is what it is at that point. Um, but yeah, like I said, classy is going to be classy regardless. Someone doesn't have to be conservative to be that perfect woman, I don't think, because the guys who have the perfect women that you say are conservative, they call them boring. And then they go out there and they go get that side chick and do this. I have tons of
Hold
people
on.
that I know who
Now
does this.
I made a disclaimer off of that though. Hold on, I made a disclaimer off that. I said if the man promised you and looked you in your eye and said I'm gonna just be faithful to you, and then he goes out and you bring conservatism to the table, and he still step out anyway, then yes, divorce his ass. But if that motherfucker told you that listen, I love you. I know I'm the man that I am. I know I'm gonna step out, and you still take on what he brings. I don't believe you should divorce him because you made up in your mind that I'm gonna still be with this man regardless if he's gonna be with other women. Some women can handle that, and some women can't. So if that man is upfront with you, then you need to y'all can work that out. Y'all stay together. If he deliberately lied to you, broke the trust between you and him, between that contract that y'all made up, I'm excluding the state. Don't think about the state. We ain't talking about the state. So if y'all have this covenant y'all made up yourself, then that's between y'all. It shouldn't be no middleman where that middleman is banking on you to get a divorce so that way he can get that paper. So that marriage is a business when you add the state to it. When
I
you
get you.
create something, when you create it between me and you, that's between me and you. This is between me, you, and the family. It ain't got nothing to do with the state. But women know the benefits that the state brings. So of course the average woman is gonna say, nah, I want to do it traditionally, I want to go through the state. Because they know they have leverage when it comes to men getting married to them with the state involved. That's my point of why men shouldn't get married to the in the state.
I
That's why I
don't
say that.
think women go into marriage, particularly saying, "Hey, I'm going to divorce him so I can get this paycheck." Who, like I said, you want two incomes in the
Come,
house,
come,
regardless. Women don't get
no,
married for that.
women. It's some women that are are contemptuous like that. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And you don't. They don't pick it up. No, they do pick that up.
Women are good actresses. What you mean?
And so are men. It's human nature.
No, I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna let you do it.
Dude,
Women are better actresses than men. They are
listen.
way better actresses. They have ruined kingdoms. Women have ruined. What are you
And so
talking
have
about? If you
men. It's a human nature for people to act upon their selfish thoughts. What is going to benefit them? Now, when you go into any relationship, you're weighing out the pros and cons, and nobody can tell me that they don't do that. Everyone's gonna weigh out their pros and cons. Okay, this guy has this. This guy can love me like that. whether it's mentally, spiritually, financially. Those are the things that women are looking for, whatever area they got to hit. Normally, when you're in a marriage, you're looking for some type of void that you're trying to fill that you may not have got as a child, probably, when we're talking about these types of issues that you're talking about. But when someone, we like you, how you gonna say we were sold some Cinderella story and then sit here and go there and say, well, y'all be manipulating the situation? No, we were taught that Cinderella story that we supposed to have this prince that's gonna take care of us, and I'm gonna be a queen and he's gonna be a king
Well,
one day,
listen,
and this gonna be a great kingdom.
listen, I'm gonna tell you this. Well, I'm gonna tell all the fathers out there, because I want a daughter personally. I really want a daughter. And so this is for myself. I need y'all. I feel you. I don't care where you are, man, in this world. If you have a daughter, you need to raise her first to be like, what is his character like? Don't be just saying, "Oh, you need to get a man that could just take care of you." If he ain't bringing no paper, if you're embedding that into your daughter, you stupid. Because you have to vet a man. You have to understand what his character is before he can have good money, but he can be treating your daughter like shit. He can be beating your daughter's ass. He can be doing whatever. He can be cheating on her. He can be doing all the things that you don't want him to do, but since he got money or status, then that makes him invincible. You have to teach your daughters that he has to come with some type of moral. He has to be on some type of
Yes,
moral code and virtue. If he don't stand
absolutely.
on virtue, if he don't have accountability, honor, ethics, authenticity, all these different pillars of life that make you a virtuous man, then you don't. She should not be with that man. If you're telling him you're only, this is how it goes. If you're encouraging your daughter to say, "Oh, get with a man that's well off, man out here," you're no different from the European slave master by asking, "How much is he worth? How much is he worth? How much is that nigga worth over there?" That's what he did on a chopping block when you was getting sold. So you need to be, yeah, it's good that he is financially secure and all that. But if he doesn't have no character or no moral ground, you should not be encouraging just to get that man because he got financial means. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So you have to look at it from that perspective and stop looking at it from a Europeanized perspective. That's how we looked at each other. We looked at each other for what we was. It's that, yeah, a man has something, yes, that's good too. Or if a woman look good, yeah, she's beautiful, that's good too. But we need to know people's characters first.
Absolutely. I 1000% agree with you on that one. If
Okay,
those moral
so
values don't align, then what are we doing here?
exactly. And then was there something else I wanted to add to this pretty much? Yeah, and then that's what I wanted to say. One more thing I want to say, and I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna move on to the next question, and then I'm gonna play a video too. But I think too, women get caught up in that fantasy of the Disney story, and they're not and then women are not held accountable. It's like they can live in that state of fantasy. You get what I'm saying? They can stay in that state of fantasy without no consequences. So I think that's dangerous for women, because if the woman is still in that state and then she don't get what her fantasy is, then she's gonna become a contemptuous woman. Every man that she encounters, she's gonna drain him. She's gonna drag him down. She's gonna destroy a man because she's scorned, because that fantasy is not being fulfilled. This Barbie doll or this Barbie world fantasy. I'm a Barbie girl and all that type of shit. No, we don't live like that. We gotta live in the reality. And when women are like that, that's called female solipsism, where no matter what's going on, whether logic is presented, truth, all these different things. I talked about this on hubristic pride versus authentic pride. That a lot of women, modern women, they live in a hubristic pride because it don't matter if you present logic, facts, truth. Female solipsism allows them to just only see their own perspective only and not look at nobody else's perspective because it's only about their straight edge narrow path that they only gonna follow because that's what society has or that's what they have been programmed to believe that they should just have. You get what I'm saying? But you notice when I use that example in the book that after time, after that wall gets settled in, as some years go by, then women become more, they reach epiphany because you saw the woman made her list shorter. But even when she made her list shorter, she still was living in a fantasy that I still must have a rich man. Yeah, even though she shortened it down, she left it to one core one where which it was just rich, which is still I got rid of all the other stuff that's on the list, but I'm gonna still keep this one here, even though that is far fetched and it's all the way up here. She's still trying to hop up to try to get that of what she can attain. And Dr. Cornish was telling her to be more realistic, to be more, be more grounded, be more smart and intelligent than what you're, showing because she was living in her fantasy. That's the example of female solipsism that I'm talking about. But having said that, let me play this video and then I might, and if you want to add to anything I said, go ahead, but I want to play this video too.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So let me play this, and then I want to get your perspective and the audience perspective. And while we're here, let me actually read these comments first. So he said, Black women especially have a false sense of love living through pink people's eyes. That love fairy tale is for the birds. Today's time, most people fucking and sucking. Okay. I'm a virgin. Okay. There's a lot of nasty, trifling helpers doing foul behavior. I saw children at events where Spider-Man was getting mothered back. They're funky. I don't know what he was trying to say. Them pink girls are acting a fool in the school system screwing. I seen a story where a teacher took a 9-hour train with her male students. And then he lastly says, love is earned. And Terrence was commenting a lot. So Terrence, and then somebody else said hello. Big said hello. Okay. All right. So having said that, let me play this video by Tommy Sotomayor. And if you want to add anything to what he says, because he's throwing out actual statistics, I want to hear what you have to say. If you do want, hold on. If you want to add something afterwards, let me know. Hold on.
Black people, men who are married, have a black wife. Black women, black husband.
Can y'all hear this?
No, it sounds really staticky.
Hold on, that's because I got my earbuds here. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. I had my earbuds in. That's why I was like that. Hold on. So let's play it now. I'm actually not gonna show it. I'm gonna play it like this. Can y'all hear it?
Men who are married have a black wife.
Y'all hear it?
Barely.
Have a black husband. Now, does that mean that black women are loyal to black men?
You hear it?
No, it's not. It means that nobody else will marry them but black men. Listen to the number. 93%. And y'all have to remember, these are the people that throw themselves at men of other races. They throw themselves at men of other races. And yet they're still with black men when they marry. 93%.
Can you hear it?
And they marry outside of their race.
Yes.
Black men can marry outside of their race with white women, double the amount. Double. Black women, the amount of black women who are married, 4% are married to white men. 8% of black men are married to white women. Hispanic non-white men, 2% of black women are married to those. 4% black men are married to those. People who classify themselves as other, 1% of black women are married to people who classify themselves as others. 3% of black men are married to those called others. Now, again, if I wanted to point out something to you that black women were loyal to black men, then the question is, why do they cheat on them so much? If you believe that because they marry not but black men, and I'll listen to all the black women who say it, then why do they cheat on them so much? The number one group of women who have children who aren't of the man who they went and tested them for, you know, like the woman sits there and has a baby, and then she goes and has the baby tested. Thank you, Juan Solo. When she goes and has the baby tested to see if it's the guy that she blamed it on, the highest rate of people who are wrong are black women, the highest rate. The highest rate of women who have their second child by a different man than the first one, who would that be? Who knows who that is? That's right. Yet again, black women. I found out they were the least married people in the United States. Nobody is less married than them, including black men. So black men who are males, well, I'll ask y'all a question. Who do you think it should be easier to get married? Women or men? Who do you think would probably receive more marriage proposals? Women or men? No one wants to marry them that they want to marry. The majority of them, if they do want to get married to somebody, is to somebody that doesn't want to marry them. Let me point it out. They will all marry a celebrity. They will all marry a white man. They will all marry a Hispanic man. But those people don't want them. If you go to my website, you will see all the statistics that I put up. Not statistics to anger anyone, just statistics called facts. And the statistics show that there was at one time where black women got married at a higher rate than white women. Yes, it was pre the 60s. And was it much more than that? No. But here's what's funny. After the 60s, the marriage rates crashed for black women. Yet, the marriage rate for white women has stayed the same since 1800s. Again, you can go to my website, you can see these stats. 1800s. The highest rate of people who get married today and stay married are Asians. The second highest are white women. The third highest are Hispanic or non-black women. The least are black women. Cola said black women are national concubines. Yes, everybody's had them. Nobody marries them. Yes, it was. Why? Because the white man came in and told them you can have help from them over the black man. And they openly wanted to make themselves single and available because they thought with the civil rights and all of the women's lib stuff, Black women actually thought, and I've had one do it to me when I was dating one. She thought she had a chance to get these dudes who were way richer than me. So she took a chance at them dudes and turned her back on me.
All right, so after hearing that, that brings me to my next question. And if you want to add to what he was talking about, you can. Why are so many women, particularly Black women, alone or in bad relationships?
Well, let's see. Black women as a whole.
Hold
Like I
on, Niecy, I
said,
can't even hear you. Let me make sure my earbuds is in. All right, say something now.
you, you can hear me?
Say
Can you
something,
hear
Niecy.
me? I am. Can you hear me?
Damn, why I can't hear you all of a sudden? That's so weird. Hold on. That is so weird. Hold on. Say something.
Can you hear me now?
It's like it's low as hell. Hold on. I hear you. Hold on.
Can you hear me
Got
now?
my earbuds in. Now say something.
What about now?
I can hear you, but it's actually really low. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm gonna close out and come back in. How about that?
Do you got your earbuds in or what? What you? Yeah, she got back out. She gonna come back in. I couldn't hear her. Hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure. All right, say something.
Can you hear me now?
Hell no.
No.
I don't know why my earbuds ain't connecting. It's so weird. Uh, let me. I don't think it's you. I think it's my earbuds. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me regroup. Let me regroup. Let me regroup. Excuse the technical diff. Now something.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but the shit is extremely low. Hold on. Why did it? It seemed like it's not connected to my Bluetooth no more. Hold on. Let me try to reconnect. My apologies, guys. Technical difficulties right now. I should be able to just hear you once I click out. Let's put it back in. I don't think I don't know what it is. It's my Bluetooth, I think. Go ahead though. Say hold on. Go ahead. Hold
Can you
on.
hear me?
Just what
Is that better?
disconnect from the device, then go to the yeah, that's what I did, D'Arion. I did that. I don't know why my shit ain't working right now. Hold on. It's so weird. I just did that. Um. Oh, hold on, hold on. All right, okay, we good, we good. Yay, okay. All right, you know what? I gotta get the hang of this shit, man. You know, I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. I'm glad y'all hanging in there with us. All right, I apologize for that tremendously. Did you get my question?
I did. Why do I think Black women cannot hold a relationship or some sorts, right?
Why are so many women, or why are so many women, excuse me, particularly black women, alone or in bad relationships?
Well, I think one of the root causes is that um, westernized in America, we were pulled from Africa. So we're not necessarily with our kind. We are a minority. Statistically, you're looking at Black women and Asian men are the least desirable in the United States. That's a statistic fact. Um, we're we're not necessarily understood. Um, we're kind of displaced because we were taken from another country and planted here with European expectations. When you look at our true DNA and background and culture, um, we are smart. We are one of the most highly educated people in the United States as well. So that comes a whole different ballpark when you talk about um, yeah, classism. And then I think it also goes back to the Christian culture where um, dark things are considered evil and light things are considered good. So therefore, we're also another part of not being desired. And because we sit in our masculinity a lot more than other culture of women, because that's what was ingrained in us in slavery, and we always have to speak up for ourselves. So sometimes we don't have that submissive personality that everyone's looking for. I feel like with other races, they're allowed to live more in their femininity, and
Mhm.
just be themselves. If you look at any other culture as far as sexuality, most of the time those culture embrace sexuality. I think this is the race bait. I think where you're seeing all this pop culture with women twerking and stuff is they're trying to get that back. Hey, y'all making money off of us for shaking your ass and gentrifying our culture. Let me get out there and make that money back myself. So that's a whole nother part that I feel like that's why you get that in pop culture. There's so many facets that why um, Black women are the least desirable. Um, and culturally, within our culture, we teach. Um, as a child, even with my family, it's like, oh, my son has a girlfriend. And then it's forbidden for girls to talk about sex. In other cultures, it's a little bit more open. Um, it's why would I
Shit.
I feel in my way, I grew up in Georgia. So this is my southern self talking about that area of people. Um, I can't speak for anywhere else. Women, it's forbidden for girls to talk about their sexuality. It's you're being too fast. Ladies don't talk about this. And
I
then
grew up in that
educate.
time too, but But today's women, oh nah, hell no.
And I hear you, but they act like that because they were not taught any better. Because it's forbidden for us to talk about those things. And with males, it's talked about. So it's just so many things I can discuss. This is such a big topic. I would
I
have to
want to,
dissect it. And
yeah, I want to say this because some women and Dr. Grace Cornish West, or why I say that, Dr. Grace Cornish, excuse me, she makes it known a disclaimer that society is quick. This is a disclaimer that she makes. Society is quick to accept reports and statistics saying that black women are in relationship dilemmas because most black men are in jail or on drugs or subsisting at the poverty level. Sisters internalize these images and conclude that there are no eligible black men left, that the good ones are married, dead, or yet born, and the rest are gay, bisexual, or interested in white women. These are some of the most self-defeating misconceptions black women harbor. It is true that many brothers lack direction. However, to generalize this to all black men is both ridiculous and false because Tommy Sotomayor, that video that I just played for you, he already made it a point that over 90% of black men choose to marry black women and over 80% of black women choose to marry black men. He just said that the stats on marriage fell ever since then. And the reason why the stats fell down is because black women went towards feminism. They gravitated towards feminism, and feminism was really the white woman's battle. It had nothing to do with black women. Black women were not even on the same level playing field as the white woman. The black woman was facing hardships just like black men were. We were in this together. We stuck by you through the thick and thin, through slavery, through us being kings and queens. Because I don't want to just talk about the negative. We was there when you was on the throne and all this type of shit. But the white woman made it seem like the black man is oppressing you just like the white man is oppressing me. So that's when black women was like, okay, I'm gonna go jump on this train and be with the white women and these other types of women that have nothing to do with my oppression. I'm gonna jump on this same bandwagon, okay? And then on top of that, to add more to it, she says that this is something else that I want to say. Not what she says, but what I want to say. Americanized women tend to date and have sex with multiple men, and they don't want to settle down. Like you heard what Tommy Sotomayor said, he had a girl that he was with, and she thought she could do better because she saw men over there that were more financially equipped. Instead of seeing the potential behind the man that she was already with, she thought she can upgrade. She wanted that instant gratification that you talked about earlier. She wanted to be able to say, well, you know what? If this nigga ain't doing what he need to, or if I ain't see no instantaneous involvement right now, like within a Thanos snap, then I'ma just move my ass on. You know what I'm saying? And that comes with different factors. You can move on to this next man, and yeah, it goes back to what I'm saying. Move on to the next man. He may be doing way better off. He may want to just treat you like a fling. He may just want to whoop your ass. Versus the man you left, he was a good candidate. He was a good dude, and you chose to be like, nah, I'm gonna just go with this guy. So you chose to leave a good man. They don't. It's to the point that modern women don't really value good men. They say they want good men, but they don't really value good men. Okay? They rather have the Chads, the Brads, the Pookies, and the Ray Rays. And after those body counts have piled all the way up to the ceiling, then you want to bring your ass right back to the Brandon that you want to be with now, that you done got those your body count high up in the sky, and then either the man, either if he's a good man, or well, I say a foolish man rather, he's going to take on that because now you got kids, now you done gained weight, now you done gotten older. So why in a man's mind, why would he take you now versus when you were young and you were more fertile and you were more vibrant? Men tend to want that. But going back to what I'm saying about why many women are alone or are in bad relationships, they get passed around. So going, I said that. Also, with that, with them having a lot of body counts, their hearts become jaded. So whoever man they talk to or they encounter, that sexual energy exchange that they had with this other man, they take on all those emotions from that man and then pass it on. And then they try to emulate what that man did to them. So if that man was cheating on them, now they have to do it to the next dude. Now they take on the same attributes and character of the man that they were just with because that sexual energy exchange. He done literally possessed your spirit because he was a bad spirited man and you chose to sleep with him for whatever reason because he got money or whatever you thought was good. You chose to sleep with this man because that's who you wanted at the time versus working with a man that could have actually you can build with something and have a solid foundation with. And then on top of that, that man has to psychologically, if he does decide to be with that woman, he has to psychologically uh take on those damages and the insecurities of that woman. So that's another reason. So he's in a bad relationship with a woman that has these different insecurities and damages. And having said that too, um, so it's best for a man to not be in a relationship with a woman like that. And what else I want to say? Da, 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 da. So having a pro LGBTQism and a feminism way of thinking, I want to be with other girls. I want to do what men do, think like a man, act like a lady mentality. All these different types of factors dictate why women are alone. Not even just black women, but black women and other women, why they're alone or why they're in bad relationships. But since we are talking about black women, since they are the least favored, that is the reason why that they're in bad relationships or alone. So
I
that's what I was saying.
I don't
Oh,
necessarily agree with that. I
why you
think
don't? What? Hold on, hold on. Which part that you don't agree with? Because I said multiple. I said multiple things. So which one you don't agree
um,
with?
I don't agree with that concept of why you think women are alone, black women in particular. Um, I think that because women are nurturers, and because they see sometimes they see in the culture that, oh, I can get this guy by sleeping with them, and they keep repeating that, looking for that love, thinking they're going to get that love in return by sleeping with them, and then they get jaded and then they go to, well, I'm just going to be with somebody with money because at the end of the day they're all the same. So I don't know how men can sit here and think that they know a woman's mind, because you guys can't. We both think totally different. Sometimes that's why we don't understand each other. Women are biologically, women are nurturers. Uh, so that concept doesn't make sense. She gets hurt and then she gets these mental
You didn't hear the part where I said she was spiritually possessed. When
um
you sexual
I don't
sexually in, hold on, sexual energy exchange is real. When I if I enter into you and if I'm in a bad spirit as a man and if I'm not a good-hearted man, then whatever energy that I put into you, you're going to get that because women are receivers, and men are the life forces. You are the life giver and the receiver. So we are the life force. So when we enter in you, we're entering. We're giving you our spirit. We're giving you our energy
So
on
who
a.
needs to be held accountable at that point? If men know this and they going around sleeping with these women, um, whether I seen women and men exchange, they're going out on a date in exchange just for the meal. I expect sex. Like it's an exchange that they're accepting at that point. So somebody got to be held accountable, and this conversation is leaning more towards women need to be held accountable, but it seems though that men know exactly what they're doing in that situation. They know what they're after at this point. So who need to be held accountable if women can't recognize that? Or if they
Well,
both agree on it, they can. I don't believe, like, yes, I do believe in the sexual energy and carrying it on, but that's another biological thing. Sometimes people just want to have sex for fun, so that doesn't necessarily go into that era either, I think.
well, that depend that goes down to spirit, because if like say what I'm okay, say what you just said, that we just want to have sex for fun. If we are both good people and we both are honest and transparent with each other, then that's not bad spirits.
And I get
When you
it.
come into it, with bad intentions, this is what I'm gonna say. A good man, a good heart is a good person. A dead heart is a dead person. Uh, an angry heart is an angry person. So
Yeah.
it boils down to the soul. So if your intentions are pure, say if I want to just have sex, if my intentions
Mhm.
are pure and we both agree to that, then that's good. That's not gonna sit bad on our spirit, because
and
we
I
actually.
and
But
I agree with you.
if we both listen, if we both have bad or ill will intentions, if we don't, if I come in thinking, oh, I'm trying to get over on you, she trying to get over on me, she trying to get a free meal. We're both coming into this thing with bad intentions. So when y'all have sex, that's when that's when that energy exchange happened. And then I'm gonna say this: women control access to sex. So women are to blame to the degree, because men can't enter in you without your permission. We can't enter in you. That's rape. So we can't. You can't say that I'm just trying to blame y'all. I'm just seeing what it is realistically. It's not playing a blame game or pointing fingers. I'm seeing ain't shit niggas too. So I know there's ain't shit niggas out there. And I've already made it clear. If a nigga ain't treating you right, you need to leave his ass alone. If his intentions are not pure, then you need to leave his ass alone. But we
Yeah.
also need to call out these women that just want free meals. They just want to sandal it up, weave it up, twerk it up. If you have these bad intentions and you enter into somebody, those spirits carry on. Only noteworthy people understand this. The mass population don't even have these type of conversations that we having, because they so busy wanting to do other shit. They so distracted by nonsense and materialism and superficiality and shit like that. So we're having this conversation. We know what's good, and some of the people even in the audience that I think that are listening can feel what we talking about. But we have to understand what's going on. We gotta call the thing what it is.
Yeah, but what people don't understand is your unconsciousness. Your unconsciousness is telling you, oh, this person's hot. But we're not digging, we're not waiting to have that sex. So some people cannot fight the chemistry that they're having at the moment. And then later they find out that they're not compatible. So we can't keep sitting here
So you don't
blaming each
have
other.
so you don't have the emotion. Hold on, you don't have the emotional maturity to calm
Some
your
people
sexual urges.
don't. The women that you are talking about may not have that. That's what I'm saying, because they're easily influenced by these videos that you're talking about. They're easily influenced by culture. So yeah, they can not have control of what their unconscious body is doing. They
Nah,
may
that
not.
that they have to escape. You have to learn to escape the
Yeah, but
nonsense.
everybody can't do that, and then they
Then we
blame
have to
everybody else.
But what I was gonna say is we can't justify the behavior. We have to blame ourselves. We have to take accountability for ourselves. Literally, to be accountable
Yeah, for
means to account.
yourself.
So that's my point. That's my point. So this is what I'm saying. That's
But
what I'm saying. It's
everybody's
not a.
not able. That's what I'm
It,
telling you.
listen. I'm trying to say this. Accountability means to account for one's own ability. That's literally what the word means, to account for one's own ability. So
And
I'm
when you
saying,
can't, what are there? There's rules, right? Because humans don't hold themselves accountable, then someone who knows how to hold something accountable makes a rule or law that prevents you from doing that, or you will be penalized, right?
who's being penalized right now?
So,
Men or
like,
women?
say a- anybody can be
Who's
penalized.
I'm talking about on this subject that we're talking about now. When we're talking about the bad relationships,
Oh,
why? Because we're talking about modern women being alone. We ain't talking about black men or men being alone. We're not alone. So I'm asking you. That's why I brought this question up. This If I didn't ask you why are so many men, particularly black men, alone or in bad relationships?
right.
And I asked this question out of good faith because this woman here, she's an American black psychologist, and she don't bash men or she don't bash women. I don't do that either, but I do like to hold myself accountable, and I like to hold women accountable. I like to hold everybody accountable that plays a part in the atrocities that's causing a dismantle in the family. You get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're trying to say, but I'm
So
telling you,
women
some
are alone. They suffering from this. So we trying to figure out the solution.
yes, we are, but I'm telling you that some people just can't. If some people have a mental capacity of just mirroring things, they cannot think for themselves. And then
So
you're
what?
talking
So what do
about
you say? So what do you suggest for those type of people then? Since those people are so mentally income, like they don't have that capacity to think for themselves, and they just these sheep that gotta fall to her. What would you say to those people then? What do they need to do then?
I mean, I can't speak for them. You need to get a woman who acts as that on the show, on your podcast, because I am the wrong woman for that. I do not think at that level.
And
So
this
I
ain't no
can't
personal.
answer
This
that.
ain't nothing. This ain't nothing personal towards you either. I don't
I
want you to
know.
think that.
I'm very conscious of
So
that.
I got you. All right, just making sure. So I'm even if it doesn't have nothing to do with you, these are your female counterparts.
My
So I'm
female
saying if
counterparts
you,
aren't as you speak. They don't
I
do
I
those
get.
things.
Listen, I get that you have noteworthy females around you. I'm saying if you look back, like say if you had words for women that have this issue, what would you encourage them? What would you say to them? What would you say? Like, what would you say to be like? What's the alternative route for that? For what we're talking about right now? What's the alternative route?
Find
I'm
somebody
not
that
saying. I'm
accept
not
that
saying.
behavior.
I'm not saying this that you have to be friends with them, but I'm saying what would you say to them? Because this is unacceptable. This is a harsh reality. This is true. I played you the stats of Tommy naming out all the people that are married, or not the statistics, who has the highest. He said that Asian women have the highest marriage rates, or Asian people in general, and then secondly, after that is
They're
white women,
they're
or
just
no,
raised
Latino.
they're
Go ahead, go
raised
ahead.
differently, and that's just what it is. They are raised differently. But if they're in the westernized United States, yes, they may have a higher marriage rate. However, things aren't that way anymore. People aren't getting married as quick. They're waiting. Now, one thing about millennials in particular, once they do get married, it seems that they're sticking to that marriage more so than our 80s and 90s and early 2000 marriages. So it's getting better because we're waiting and we're thinking and we're waiting for that partner that's right for us, or each other rather. So I can't necessarily, you're talking about women who don't have necessarily any class, and I can't tell you that. I'm a single mother of three. Maybe I'm just not the right woman to ask that question. I'm not married. So, and I'm not saying that I'm doing anything wrong to not be married. I'm just saying that I'm just not, and I'm just enjoying my life as it is right now. I don't think my life should be, oh, let me go search for this partner, search for this partner. Now my kids are old. They're like 18, 17 years old. So they're about to leave the house. I'm in a whole different ballpark than anybody else. So I have a whole different mindset of thinking. I would die happily alone. And there's nothing, because I'm not in that mother bearing stage anymore. I'm just
So
not.
this is what D'Arion said. He said we're speaking on generalities and anecdotals, but you're treating them the same. No, what I was doing, I played the video of the statistics of what Tommy was saying. So I'm not speaking on I'm not speak I mean, yeah, I am speaking from anecdotal and personal experiences, but the stats that were that we heard are actually true. So those stats are true. That can't be disputed. And then he also Goodbread just gave some fire 100% more. Okay, well, shout out to Goodbread out there. And then so we can see stats on relationships, and then Niecy will say a personal story, then Asian will tell a personal story, then you will go back to general theory, which is fine, but I think it leads to you disagreeing given the personal stories being added in. I mean, everybody's perspective is different. That's what makes it
Right.
interesting. Yeah, so that's what makes it interesting. But we ain't gonna take it personal because, like I said,
No,
we
absolutely
heard
not.
you know, because we heard the stats. We ain't just pontificating. We actually heard the actual stats from Tommy Sotomayor, who does his research and all that good stuff. And then we can also go to blackdemographics.com and see all those different types of stats that he pointed out. So we ain't just saying, just saying anything. So go to blackdemographics.com and I bet you can pull up what he was talking about. And even go to his website where he lays out the stats too. So
Mhm.
anyway, having said that, um, would you support an arranged marriage? And that's not to be mistaken as a forced marriage. There's a difference.
Would I support an arranged marriage? Well, yes, I would support anyone who wants, any family who wants to support an arranged marriage. If you think about that, let's go back to the Asian stats. They have lots of arranged marriages. That's maybe why they're married. Um,
Exactly, because most cultures like India and Southeast Asia and African societies, they don't want to play. They go by arranged marriages. But go ahead. I want you to go and I'll answer the question. My bad. I
um,
just got excited.
So, but again, America is beautiful and unique as well because we give choices, right? Now, some people can say those choices aren't the best thing because then there's too many options, then people can't choose. But sometimes those people are only married, like in those Asian cultures, just because it's loyalty to their family, not your loyalty to their spouse. So, I mean, you can look at the statistics all day and say, why black women don't get married and da 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 da, but then you got to look at the other end of the stick too. What are they going through? I don't know. I'm not Asian, but I know that some of my Asian friends aren't happy, and they're happy that their family is happy. That's all I know.
Okay, but All right, I'm going into this out of good faith. So I'm not trying to say one person is to blame, this person is to blame. I'm just looking at what is in front of me. It's just like a regular historian just writing down what he sees, and he ain't being subjective. He just writing everything down as an observer. That's what I want you to like see what I'm doing. So I'm not saying, oh, this person is doing that. Without actually, I'm just looking at it and seeing and presenting the information. So let me actually hold on real quick. It says, we're not here for a battle. We need conversations. It's no longer about who is right and who is wrong. And then that's what Mr. Goodbread Show said. Shout out to him. And then De'Arion said, "Oh, don't make no mistake. I love this. Just I'm noticing a pattern. Much love on this." And then Mr. Goodbread said, "Total domination will leave us nowhere. You on point with the pattern. I peeped that too." All right. So what I want to say with the arranged marriages, I would definitely support that because studies have shown, no anecdotal, no personal, it says that arranged marriages have a higher success rate. So I would definitely do that because it's truly family oriented. Families actually vet the other families before they actually say, "Oh, my daughter can go with him," or my daughter or my son can go with her. They actually vet the people, and you're allowing people that you grew up with to introduce you into a somebody that fits your personality. You get what I'm saying? And again, it's not forced. So you can accept it. You can go on a date with them. It's like having a family matchmaker. So I would definitely love to do that. I would love to do that. My mom just passed, so my dad would have to help me out, and my other family would have to do that. So I would definitely be up to that because that's very traditional. And one of my batteries went off. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I would definitely do that. And then I can see myself doing that, but I also say no because my family is a little bit too dysfunctional. I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
and they and they and they
Exactly.
and they probably was scared of hell. They was scared of they was scared of other motherfuckers off. They be like, "Nah, I can't deal with him. His family too." So it gives me that, it gives me like that one foot in. I would do it because I don't have to really do the work, but just be myself. It's like really submitting a resume, and like you can have your family arrange it, and then you just pretty much like in Indian culture, it's like you can have your resume of who you are, what's your profession, your personality, and all that. It'll be like laying that all out to that person, and if that person agrees, then you can go and date that person. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the only exception to the rule for me, is that my family is a little dysfunctional, so I probably wouldn't want to do it at the same time. But I would love to do it because it's interesting to see how that will work out for me personally. So that's
Yeah.
just my perspective. But let me go to these comments real quick. It says, on the arranged marriage in Southeast Asia, they are less common. Marriage rates are also going down in this part of the world too. See, because they not sticking to tradition.
And I
Okay,
get,
and then
but let me play devil's advocate here.
go
Are
ahead, go
you
ahead.
are you with this stat that they have about marriage? Are you just checking a box to say you completed marriage, or are those people actually happy there? Like that's the big question.
But go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
To me, we're just checking a stat box. And I do have Asian friends. I do from all parts. of the world, and sometimes they just seem unhappy. And however, they are at service to their family when these things happen, and they stay with it because family is priority. So Asian culture has the highest suicide rate, because they're so unhappy and they cannot discuss this with anyone. So we sitting here trying to check off a box saying these people are married this. Now, I'm not saying that America is so awful because we're getting these divorced and not married. It could go either way. So I don't think one mode can just fix a problem.
Yeah, this is all according to what you would want to do. You get what I'm saying? I'm
No,
just
no. This
asking.
isn't
You get what?
according to what I want to do. We don't live in those Asian people lives. We don't know
No,
what's going on.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying you
Right.
meaning general.
Okay. Yeah, I know that. I
Yeah, so
understand
don't.
that.
Okay. I just don't want you to take what I'm saying personal. When I say you, I really mean you all, because you can mean singular or plural. So I just want to make that clear. I got you.
Right. I'm
Trust me.
not holding
I
anything personal to me. Because I know
I
who I
got you.
am. But
Okay. So
um,
yeah. So having said that, like, yeah, if that will be something that you will be interested in for anybody that's out there that wants to do that, I mean, that's something that you can. That's optional. But I wouldn't shy away from not doing it just because one way we've been doing for so long, and I agree. I actually agree with what you said. Like, a person should be able to express themselves, but certain cultures be like, you can't bite the hand, or I'm gonna smack your hand down if you try to express yourself to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, parents and family, that stuff is strict. I lived in China, so I actually know what you're saying. I know what you
yeah,
mean by that. Yeah, my students wasn't even, they was afraid to, like, say, talk to me. Like, I'm too much of a teacher or a high authority for them to actually, they gotta bow their head and look down. Like, man, you get, just, I get you a very respectful person, but you ain't gotta do all that. You just, we cool. But that's the culture that they have been taught, and you can't,
Mhm.
when you've been programmed like that, it's kind of hard for you not to, and that's all you know. It's kind of hard for you not to see what's outside. So you do have to consider that too, what you said. But yeah, let me play this by Charleston White, and I want to see what you say, and then I'm gonna ask you this question. My earbuds are dying. Damn, my earbuds are dying,
I
but
mean,
that's
we can
okay.
make a part two to this. We don't have to do this all night because I'm about to go watch my friend perform.
Wait just a minute. Hold on. Nah. What? Okay, what time your friend perform? You hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, hold on. I gotta take my earbud off. Wait, what time your friend for?
She's gonna start at 9:30.
I didn't anticipate that it would be this long, but I do appreciate your patience minus the technical difficulties and all that good stuff. If we do have to come back, we will. Let's see what we can do until like 9 o'clock. That's cool.
How about 8:35? You got me for
All
10 more
right, okay.
minutes.
I got you. Okay. I didn't know we gonna make it fair. We gonna make it fair. All right. So hold on. Let me add this back on here. So let me play this video, and then I'm gonna ask you this follow-up question, and then we can. All right. Hold on. Where is it? Okay.
A white, black.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I'm gonna put it down and y'all listen to it.
If you ain't never had no Mexican pussy, don't go there. I'm telling you.
He's a little vulgar, so excuse the vulgarity.
She lazy when she fuck. Because the black woman itself is all about her. You gotta please her. Man, try all black.
I don't think all black women are lazy.
They self-centered. It's natural. Man,
so do you like black women or no?
Shit out of black women. You asked me a question. Which one is better? And I'm explaining to you why she's better, why the Mexican pussy is better than the black woman. Why you think the Cardi B's until little Megan Thee Stallion came along with them bend the knees kind of riding, the black woman don't fuck like that. The black woman later. Listen, when the black man get off work, the black woman ain't sucking his dick in the car. She ain't catching him at the door. No, listen. The Spanish woman is more dominant in bed than any other woman. The Asian woman is more subservient. That's why they have Asian bathhouses. The black woman is not trained and raised to serve. The black woman is raised up by her mother, watching her mother take through the abuse to serve. The black woman don't see her mama serve. Nobody.
So I have a question. Black women don't really have much to submit and serve.
Hold on. But they submit and serve to their baby daddies. They pregnant them. So they submit and serving to somebody. They submit to the white boy on the job that mistreat them, that she complain about. She submit to the pastor that she gonna give her money to. So she submit and subserve. She just pick and choose who she wanna submit and subserve to. And when she pick wrong, she blame the man. My mama told me you attract who you are. So if the black woman don't have nobody to submit and subserve to, that's because she's attracting all the wrong men. You attract who you are. That's why you keep picking the same kind of men you got to complain about. You have to ask yourself, what's inside of you that keep attracting convicted felons? Because check in. Mama and grandmama say spirits are familiar with each other. You might not know the man, but it's a spirit in him and it's a spirit in you that knows one another. It could be abuse. Mm-hmm. You may be used to being abused, and he may be an abuser. So you're attracting an abuser because you're used to being abused. Some women who've been molested attract molesters. Most women who've been abused attract abusers. So let me just say this. You pick what you want, and people do to you what you allow them to do to you. Man or woman. People do to you what you allow them to do to you. So, if you keep picking convicted felons, you might need to take a look in the mirror and say, man, why am I keep attracting criminals? What's inside of me that keep attracting criminals? You may have a
But all criminals not bad though.
Attracting criminals. Why can't you attract a non-criminal who's never done anything bad toward life? I don't attract fucked up women. All my relationships, I've been the fucked up one. I attract good women. All my life. Huh?
So when do you plan on so when are you gonna stop fucking up in your relationships?
Men don't never stop fucking up. Never. Men don't. You want me to stop being a man? A man will never stop being a man. I'm gonna be a man till I die. Most men do.
So you want multiple wives?
99% of men do.
Okay. So having said that now that you heard that, do you consider yourself a traditional woman, and do you think most Americanized women of today are traditional? And if you want to add to what he said, if you agree or disagree, you can do so as well.
I am traditional in values for myself. However, he's also telling a story that this cookie cutter story that everyone's the same way, and he also contradicts himself. He wants a traditional woman, but yet he's talk about his biological self and how he wants multiple women. My aspect on that is, yes, that is true. I think that there are people out in this world, and mostly men. We're not meant to be in a monogamous relationship. I don't. You think about animals, humans. It's just I don't think that's 100% true that we're monogamous. Um, as far as women in America at this current time being traditional, I don't think they are. Nor do I think men either. Like you said, the roles kind of are switching. And you know what? I don't want to say switch. I don't like that word. I want to say that people are trying to become more binary than anything. People are more binary these days. Um, I'm not saying that's a good nor bad thing. It's just, I think as we progress as humans, and some people might not call that progression, but we're looking for this utopia of acceptance. So I think sometimes I look at guys and I'm like, I could never be a guy because how you're held to be such this strong figure all the time. Like you should not have any feelings. Like I enjoy my femininity and being a girl because I can be my emotional self without too much judgment. I might get judgment from guys or whatever, but I can be myself, and I feel like guys can't. So that traditionalism that's going away from the old school that was built by conservative white men, because our values root from Africa, where it is more open to accept certain things. So that's kind of my outlook on that. That guy feels hurt in the video. He sounds very hurt. And so did the female too. So it's off of their whatever their experience was in life, right? So I, I have
I
no
think
comment.
I think though he does have a point in some regards that I feel like, well, not feel, but in my experience, because I've dealt with different races of women, that Asian women are typically the most submissive women on the planet. If in my humble, not when they're not now, not when they're warped by feminism. I'm not talking about
Right.
Americanized
No,
Asian
I
women. I'm
got
talking
you.
about the ones that were raised traditionally by
Yes.
family, culture, and value across the
Yes.
board. They are the most submissive. And then I say Latino is second. And the reason why I say Latino is second is because they built their family around having each other's back. So even if the man is not making six figures right now, his brother will live with them. Her cousin will live. They will all live together as a they both of their families will literally live in one house and share one car until they're able to, have two houses or have two cars or have three cars. They're able to build no matter what. Now, when it comes to the black woman, she tends to want to be the matriarch all the time. She's like what, like he says, the grandma. Like she's the authority figure. She typically wants to be like whatever I say is law because that's just what the matriarchal system in our culture teaches. Sometimes I'm not saying all the time. In different parts of Africa,
Right.
mostly most parts of Africa is more so patriarchal, but there are some parts of Africa that are matriarchal too. And
Right.
typically, an Americanized black family it's under a matriarchal because we listen to grandma. She can't say nothing wrong. You know, you have to respect everything she says. Mom too.
But
Like you
that's
know,
in every culture, though. That's even in Asian culture. And because I
hold
gotta go
on,
real quick. I gotta go.
hold hold on, let me finish. Let me finish then. So what I want to say is I say that, but just traditionally speaking on the westernized hemisphere, westernized women or Americanized women, I say they're not traditional because in traditional roles, most both men and women have completely opposite roles. Men were seen as the life force and providers for the family. They were provisionists, they were priests and prophets. Unlike modern men of the day, they don't really do that because they associate themselves with fear, scarcity, and negativity because of the feminism agenda. And then historically and naturally, women are seen as life givers, nurturers, caretakers, first teachers of humanity, especially when it comes to the home and the family. So in this day and time, I say, I know you say you didn't want to say that the gender roles have been reversed because the man, the society pushes that the man should be more like the woman and the woman should be more like the man, which is a part of the LGBTQism, which is a wrong path for a family that wants to be in a that for a person that wants to have a family. Okay, it's promoting the opposite of that. It's anti-family. So you know, when it comes to that, we can't fall in that category because I think as black people or just as men or just as a traditional woman,
Mhm.
you can't, when you fall under that, then you give into society's matrix of not becoming that family oriented group of people that we want to be.
Uh,
Now
I hear you.
everybody wants to
I
just be
gotta get ready to go. Sorry. I gotta get ready to go, and we can have this conversation at another point.
okay,
Um,
okay. So yeah, we gonna do that. We left off on question 6. You do got, you got those other questions to answer. And yeah, I'll let you go. And yeah, I didn't know you had a time schedule. I would have been more mindful of that. But yeah, okay. I hope you enjoy your show with your friend and stuff.
I sure will. So we'll start off with a part two, and I'll comment to your comments there, and we'll go from there. But thanks for taking the time to talk. I love conversation. I love seeing different point of views. I don't think you're being argumentative. I like talking through a discussion. We can't call it an argument now if we're being
Yeah, no,
disrespectful. That's
it was a
different.
discourse. It was a
But
discourse. I don't
I
I don't
like
have
it.
no yeah, I don't have no, no bad. I'm coming out of good faith. I promise you. I'm not that type of person. You know
So
what
that's
I'm saying? It
yeah,
ain't nothing like that with me.
yeah, no worries. And like I'm just thanking you for taking time, spending with me, getting our thoughts out there and sharing with the world.
Right. All right. Okay. We're gonna set up a time to finish this up. I'm a cap it off real quick, and then we gonna land our plane. But enjoy your night. It was a pleasure having you, Neicy J. So yeah, we gonna chop it up more when you get back.
All righty. Have a good evening.
All right. You too. Peace. So that was Niecy J though. She came through. She's going to go see her friend perform. So we let her go. But I want to keep going on to this question that we were on about Americanized women. Are they traditional? Um, I would say, to add on to what I was saying, to leave off, I would say, hold on. So I'm gonna say this: dominant women will get submissive men, and dominant men will get submissive women. So we have to understand that dynamic. When you got two alphas in the same room, that usually doesn't work out. If you got two submissive people in the same room, that usually doesn't work out like that when it comes to companionship and family, because you're gonna butt heads. That's why they say opposites come together. Negative and the positive, the yin and the yang. That's what we gotta go back to. We gotta keep the stuff traditional. You get what I'm saying? So having said that, that's what I would say. I think that most of these women, over 80% of women out here in westernized society, maybe more than that, are masculine and for the streets. They no longer want to have a family because they don't see any benefits of being a submissive woman. Some women don't want to be, some women will tell you flat out that they don't want to be submissive. They want to just be, they just want to live their best life because they have this narrative that Steve Harvey instilled it in them with that or with that movie and the TV show and that book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady mentality. They will tell you that they don't want to be in a relationship that's gonna, build together. They don't want to do that. They want to actually just live their best life. All right. So, and that's a lot of westernized women. I'm not talking about non-westernized women. Typically, non-westernized women, if they're not warped by feminism, then they will want to have a family together. Okay? A westernized Latina is not going to want to have a family. She want to just have a baby daddy too. A westernized black woman, she's going to want to just have a baby and not have a family too. In fact, the Asian woman too, the westernized Asian woman, she wants just a family. She wants just a baby and her, and that's it. And then she considers the baby and herself to be the family, and the man not to be a part of it, because that's what we're bringing forth with the mass media. It's all about just women. Now, you got the women out there that are not in that matrix or not caught up in that matrix, then they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna act like that because they know that men is their yin to their yang. You get what I'm saying? It's like you can't have a flower without no vase. You get what I'm saying? You got, if a flower's in your home, it has to sit in water in a vase in order for it to stay alive. That's the equivalent of the yin and the yang and the masculine and the feminine energy, that how they coincide with each other. Okay, so that's what I want to say with that, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, and then I hope that y'all are able to take something from this. I'm glad that y'all was able to listen, and whether you agree or disagree and don't agree, that's okay. That's what this dialogue is for. We had these tough conversations, so that way we can learn and grow from each other. You know what I'm saying? We're not just pointing fingers and not just saying this person is better and this person ain't shit. Like, it ain't. We're not looking at it from a superficial level. We're looking at it from a level where we can learn and grow and develop and make sure we don't make the same mistakes of what today's generation is doing. We certainly don't want the babies doing the same thing that the bad influences are doing. We want them to have a family. We want them to be able to thrive. We want them to be able to come to us, talk to us about these conversations as well, because these conversations are important to have. They're high level conversations. You understand me? So you want to make sure that you have a circle of people that you can talk to about this, because having a family right now, like I said before in the past, it's a revolutionary act within itself, because if you don't have a family, then it's like, how can you really survive? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say. Men can survive no matter what, but still, it's still better to have a family, because when you have a family, we can work together. You know about camaraderie, you know about companionship, you know how to build together and thrive together. But that's only with sound minds and like-minded people. Okay, you can only do that with people are very that have good intentions, good faith, that are able to just be able to, communicate effectively, not easily get offended by nothing, just be able to talk to somebody and have a good ass conversation with them. You get what I'm saying? So not coming in it with a misogynist attitude, men not coming into it with a misogynistic attitude. Everybody, a woman standing in her feminine frame and a man standing in his masculine frame, and that's how you're able to thrive. You know what I'm saying? That's the solution. That's how y'all come together, when you are able to tap in with yourself so you can reach that highest level of masculinity as a man and the highest level of femininity as a woman. Now, it's not to say that the man can't use his femininity when the time comes, and it's not to say that a woman can't use her masculinity when that time comes, because it's a time and a place for everything. But we know what we have to follow the laws of nature, because the laws of nature are suppositions that always apply. Okay, you can't refute laws of nature. You get what I'm saying? It's all those laws are always going to be able to they're always going to be in motion. They're always going to be in a motion. Okay, no matter if you're dead or alive. Okay, so make sure that you do your best to be the best version of yourself. And having said that, I love y'all. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App to support your boy. Ashe to all the people out there, and namaste to everybody. And I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. We will be coming back with a part 2. And peace for now. Make sure y'all, for the people that missed it, or I also want to say this, check out my Spotify too, Adrian X Maya. That's my Spotify. Check out my other channel on YouTube, Adrian X Fitness and Meditation. Also check out so check out all those different things, and shout out to all the people out there that's doing something, having these type of conversations and growing and evolving. I wish y'all all the best, and I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Peace and chaos.